In Johnson County, and even across the whole Kansas City Metro, most homes have wood siding on them today. And a very common question concern from homeowners are, what's the installation process? Are you gonna remove my current wood siding? What do we have to do? And it really depends on what type of wood siding you have. And so if you have cedar shingles or cedar lap siding, we have to remove it. We cannot go over the top of it. It will not stay straight to the wall. It will not lay flat. There's no way I could warranty it or Hardie would warranty it. And at the end of the day, it's a really bad solution. However, a lot of homes have a flat panel system, meaning that their walls have flat wood panels today. What we normally do is we come in and we remove all the trim boards, we fix all the wood rot, we make sure everything's flat, nice and tight. We mark stud lines, and then we install James Hardie siding directly into those studs on top of your wood panels. That's the most common application, about 95% of Johnson County, and in a lot of places like Lee Summit across the metro. There are some times where the wood is so bad and so rotted we have to remove a whole wall or part of it. We tried to avoid that for two reasons. One is that wood is installed into your interior studs. So think as we remove and crowbar it out, your interior studs are flexing. You're gonna see dozens and potentially hundreds of nail pops on the inside. There's nothing we can do to prevent that. We only remove all of the wood as a last resort because we don't want to have, first rules do no harm. We don't want to cause other problems inside your house. Sometimes though, it's so bad that we absolutely have to do it. But that's, probably less than 5% of the time. That's probably 1 or 2 jobs a year, out of the 100 siding jobs that we install. So you never want to install James Hardie siding or any siding over rotted wood. You're just covering up, right? So you have a problem. You have a problem with studs. You have a problem with integrity. You have a problem with your wall keeping out water and really being structurally sound for another 20, 30, 40 years to help protect your family. You never want to go over wood. One of the top questions a homeowner should really ask a contractor is, how do you handle wood rot? How do you prove to me that you fix it? How do you go about charging me, right? That's one of those things that's really hard to know until you get into a job. So you want to have very clear and precise pricing as well as situations for how do we handle this? How do we communicate? Like who decides what we do when we remove? So that's very important for a homeowner. That's a number one risk when installing James Hardie fiber cement is you're going over a poor substrate and the contractor is just trying to be cheap and cut costs to cover it up. So that's a huge no-no. Another one is you never want to install James Hardie siding or any siding on top of existing cedar shingles or cedar lap siding. We see this a lot where contractors come out and they push a vinyl or a polymer-based siding product. The polymer is just a fancy way to say vinyl. And they lap it over existing cedar shingles or cedar siding. You see a lot of waves in the wall. That's a lot of pockets and areas for water to fall into. The other big thing that we see, unfortunately, is that it's really hard to actually hit the proper stud and know where you're installed it into because you can't find the stud on top of the old existing wood. It's just too hard to know for sure you're securely attached in the product. And so you have a bad looking aesthetic, you're not sure it's 100% installed into the wall, and you create all kinds of pockets for water and moisture. A lot of contractors that sell vinyl siding are trying to cut costs. They're trying to offer you a solution that you think might be $3,000 or $4,000 cheaper today than James Hardie fiber cement. What you're actually doing is creating a huge problem that's going to come back and potentially wreak havoc on your home 7 to 10 years down the line.